How to manage a construction project during foundations. In this video, I'm going to cover some things that are critical when we are coming out of the ground. Whether it's basement with shoring or it's a simple foundation system, whatever the case may be, I'm going to cover right now the key things that we have to have in place during this critical phase. And if you're into that, please stay with us. Okay, everybody, you knew it wasn't going to be long before I was over here at the flip charts. I'm jamming, ready to go. I love this phase. In the previous video that we did about this, we talked about how to run a project at the beginning, right? That means we've got our temp utilities, we're mobilizing our team, clearing and grubbing and grading done. We've mobilized to the project site, we're jamming, we're ready to go. But for the foundations phase, this is a whole other animal. And I want to talk about it right now. And I'm going to use an example from a project that I ran once. I'll just draw the outline of it. This was actually at the Bioscience Research Laboratory. We were tying into an existing building here and into an existing building here. So a couple of things. We have to really prepare the site for either steel structure or concrete from a logistical standpoint. For us, it was all concrete, right? So mild reinforced concrete structure. We had to have a laydown area to assemble gang forms and their forming systems in general. We had to have laydown areas for the reinforcing. We had to have our two cranes to go up with the structure, and we had to make sure that the concrete trucks had a washout location on their way out of the site. And so if we haven't given the proper space for laydown, if we don't know where we're staging reinforcing, if we don't have the right hoisting, if we don't have the right forklifts, if we don't have a concrete washout, if we don't have a location for wall racks, we need to get those. So I've always said that we need 6 different types of logistics plans, right? One is safety, one is wayfinding signage, one is a logistics plan for your mobilization and make ready, then concrete because it will look much different, and then you do your exterior and interiors, and then your closeout basically, and your site work, right? So you have 6 different types of logistics plans. You'll need a logistics plan specifically for concrete. So when you're managing a project during foundations, make sure that you have the structural considerations looped into your logistics. Let me give you one other quick example. We were doing this basement, the perimeter walls were shotcrete, and when you're doing the shotcrete, we had to have scaffolding inside, or if you're doing cast in place walls around the perimeter, you'll have braces, what they call dead men, right? So you have to make sure that everything spatially fits. Oh my gosh, this is such a good video. Let me explain this. I've never done a foundation or a basement where I didn't have to have the sequence either in a Gantt chart or an attack plan, and then say, okay, day 1, what does this site look like? Okay, day 2, what does this site look like? Day 3, what does the site look like? Like literally, if there's 80 days of foundations, literally go kill a tree and print out 80 sheets of the basement, and then according to your production plan right here, say, what does it look like? And you're probably like, why would I do that, Jason? Okay, because when you're doing these drawings, you're not just drawing the basement here, you're saying, where is my reinforcing? Where are my concrete trucks? Where will the pump be? Where will the excavator be? Where will the dirt be? Where will the workers be? Where's worker access? And pretty soon you'll be like, oh my gosh, I don't have enough space in this hole. It's called a day-by-day analysis, and then you'll understand where things fit and where things need to move. So make sure you're preparing your site for your structure. The other thing is, and this is crucial, if we want to be great as an industry, we have got to get our field engineering teams up and running. We have got to get better at field engineering as an industry. The structural phase, especially in foundations, it's all about field engineering, right? So your primary control, meaning the control or the survey points that surround your project site, that will be verified at a minimum by your field engineers. The baseline that you're going to use to actually lay out the structure will be established by your field engineers and double checked by your field engineers. The layout, when you're coming over here to build either your footings or to plumb your walls, will be done by field engineers. Let's take this wall here as a specific example. Let's say that you're going to place one wall, right? And the dimensions of the wall maybe step down, and you've got some dowels that come out, and you've got some embeds, right? Whatever that looks like, the field engineer will create the drawing for this wall, will help lay out the components in that wall, and will double check that wall for the placement, right? This whole world is a world of field engineering. So you have to have your field engineering teams, you have to have your man, rod woman ready to go, whoever's helping the field engineer team, the equipment, the survey, all of this has to be in place. I recommend reading Wes Crawford's book, Construction Surveying and Layout, for this, but we're not going to do well here without field engineers. Now, you're probably thinking, we don't do self-perform, we don't do field engineering. Wrong. I don't care if you're subbing it out. You need field engineers, and whether you're checking your own work or somebody else's, field engineers are key to making this work going right. The other thing is coverage for placements. You might think that that's weird, but sometimes you have to actually hire a superintendent, or pull them from another part of the company to run concrete, because the placements are going to be at midnight, right? And you need coverage because you need your other assistant superintendents managing the rest of the work throughout the day. So make sure you have coverage for early morning placements and that your team can sustain that. The other thing is, this is the time to really get out on the right foot with inspections. From an inspection standpoint, you've got to have a reinforcing inspection, pre-pour inspection, right? You have got to do cylinders on the concrete, temperature and slump tests, right? You've got to do concrete breaks after the fact. You have to do grid leveling for floor flatness tests. There's so much QC involved here. Now is the time to get really great at the inspections, to have an inspection area in your office, to have somebody dedicated, and to really shine with the city, with your third parties, and with your owner. And then lastly, I want to talk about double checks. Whether it's survey, whether it's concrete, whether it's lift drawings, whatever the case may be, anything in your foundations that you don't check, I want you to think about the old game we used to play on Windows computer, Minesweeper, right? You would click the little boxes and hope you didn't hit a mine, right? If you don't double check this wall, that's a potential mine that's going to blow up. That one, it's going to blow up. You didn't check your baseline, that's going to blow up. You didn't check this footing, that's going to blow up. And when you get enough of these potential risks, things that you haven't double checked, it's going to explode on you and you're going to have a big problem, right? Make sure that we have an enormous focus on double checking survey and double checking the work itself. If you haven't double checked it, it will, it's not if, it will come back to bite you, and it's going to be a problem. This is really how you manage foundations at a high level. Obviously, I could talk about this for an hour, but make sure you prepare the site for foundations, you get your field engineering team, your coverage for placements and for the early mornings or at night, you're really jamming on inspections and you're double checking everything as you go, and you should be pretty safe. There's more to it, but this is an overview. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a visual for this, a blog post. I hope you like this enough to like the video. And if you need help, please contact us. We'll also link you to some other cool videos that tie into this series. And like I said, hope you enjoy it. On we go.